Hello and welcome to Antihamstablishmentarianism Nightly, the weekly half-hour show with Ben Boquist. And I just got a guitar, and I think, I'm just gonna smash it. So right in here in the studio. So here we go. And Jesus.
What happens when you're a bad guitar? Bad guitar.
Well, I'll have to explain that one later. But welcome to the show, everybody. Name is Ben Boquist. It's the weekly half-hour show, Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly. I think I just went over that, but I've got a couple interesting things lined up for today, that is. Lined up for day. Good day. Well, actually, the first thing I was going to reiterate was some Virginia Woolf quotes, which I think should be read as much as possible. So I'm going to talk about that. Then Jesse Leach, lead singer of Killswitch Engage, one of my favorite bands, and I guess kind of a political-minded person, came out with a statement just really on the state of the world. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Again, if you don't know who he is, or I guess don't care, it's not really hugely valid. But it's just a guy. I think he's pretty awesome. So give it a listen when I come to that as well. But first off, I want to get to these Virginia Woolf quotes again, which I think should just be reiterated as much as possible. So here we go. I want to write a novel about silence, he said. The things people don't say. The voyage out. It is in our idleness and our dreams that the submerged truth sometimes comes to the top. A room of one's own. Now, these books are all about almost 100 years old. So, the early 1800s, or 1900s, I mean. So, okay, there's a... No, Mom, I didn't turn my phone sound off, but you texted me at 1 o'clock, like 1:03, so I don't run back here to do the show, but thanks for listening still, Mom, and texting. Oh, God, which reminds me, I'm going to put my thing on silent. I should have done it before. Ugh. Okay, there we go, completely silent. No need to hurry, no need to sparkle, no need to be anybody but oneself. A room of one's own. This is my all-time favorite. If it was a... Wait, I want to read this with the correct diction and whatnot. Why, if it was an illusion, not praise the catastrophe, whatever it was, that destroyed illusion and put truth in its place. Why, if it was an illusion, not praise the catastrophe, whatever it was, and destroyed illusion and put truth in its place. A room of one's own. Really good quote. Mrs. Dalloway is always giving parties to cover up the silence. Alright, yeah, makes sense. I am made and remade continually. Different people draw different words from me. The waves. Fear no more, says the heart, committing its burden to some... God damn it. Oh, I can't get through it. Okay, no, I can. I can, damn it. Fear no more, says the heart, committing its burden to some sea, which sighs collectively for all sorrows, and renews, begins, collects. Mrs. Dalloway. Wow, I gotta finish reading that. As I said in a previous episode, I found a collection of all of her most popular workings. I think it's 5 books into one, and it was $5 at Half Price Books. So go check out your local used bookstore, whatever that may be, and go pick up some Virginia Woolf, Virginia Woolf. Be truthful, one would say, and the result is bound to be amazingly interesting. Alright. A room of one's own. Lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that you can set upon my freedom of my mind. The freedom of my mind. Should have said it the first time. But anyways, one more. The flower bloomed and faded, the sun rose and sank, the lover loved and went. And what the poets said in rhyme, the young translated into practice. Orlando. That's a good one. The flower bloomed and faded, the sun rose and sank, Wait, I'm gonna try to read it like there's a cool stream behind me. The flower bloomed and faded. The sun rose and sank. The lover loved and went. And what the poet said in rhyme, the young translated into practice. Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Hopefully we can get on that in post, guys. It's me snapping. My guys. God, I smashed that guitar all over there's pieces of guitar all over this place now. Oh, man, that wasn't like some really realistic sound effects or anything. So, just so you know, that was legit. Jet skis. But I do have this thing to read that I wanted to read about Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage, the original singer and current singer. We miss Howard Jones, his presence in Killswitch, I'm sure. Other fans agree with me that he was awesome, but I think Jesse's just a whole nother level. That's a pet peeve of mine when people say "nother," like a whole another level or a whole other. I don't know. It's annoying to me. But that's not what we're talking about, is it? So here is Jesse from Killswitch's statement. I got this from rockfeed.com. It said that he, I believe he posted this on social media somewhere. Mourning the current state of the world in this country, it's entitled. Here it is. Knowing full well the insurmountable ridicule and abuse I may receive from this post by those polarized in one direction or the other, I cannot stay silent anymore. I realize my thoughts, concerns, and observations may mean nothing to you. If that is the case, simply stop listening. For those reading on, thank you, and back to your regularly unscheduled program of social media to resume in a minute or two. I can't just take a side or allow hashtag to define my grief. We all have our ways to mourn with respect. I've been contemplating and mourning the current state of the world and this country for days now. I still find it hard to find the words, but I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror tomorrow if I didn't attempt to formulate my thought and speak my mind and heart. I mourn the murder of any human! The fact that we as people use death as a political platform or agenda is despicable. The denying of deep-rooted inequality is also equally despicable. How can we foster progress and actual equality when no one is willing to listen to each other? We must be willing to be considerate and walk in one another's shoes to find understanding. I don't see much of that, sadly. Just division and disregard for one another. What a sad, troubled, shockingly ignorant state of affairs we are caught in these days. The division between us as a people grows daily due to tragic events paired alongside calculated disinformation and false flag or wagging the dog. Look up these terms if you are not familiar, then examine certain current events that change over time. There is much outside of our history books and news reports to learn from these days. These days we are swallowing blindly what they feed us, instead of uniting to stand against the common enemy. The ones in power that manipulate justice and care not for the common people? Yeah, those guys. Instead, we are divided against each other. Why? While we bicker and fight over hashtags and who's killing who, the clandestine dismantling of this country and world economy continues unchecked. Racism, among many other warped and conditioned hateful thinking, is alive and well. People, it is being arrogantly displayed by many on both sides of the current issue. Yet we are distracted by social status, fantasy games, and vanity glued to our phones like zombies. We swallow manufactured media as clickbait conspiracies to occupy our minds. We have been warned for decades about these times, from literature to movies and songs. Yet here we are in the midst of yet another crucial downfall, and all we are doing is infighting and pointing fingers at each other, when in fact the blame lies upon those in high authority. Those very few at the top who oversee the passing and amending of laws, the controlling of wealth, distribution of power, are the devisers and dictators of the system. We have been conditionally dumbed down, divided, and controlled. This is idiocracy in full effect, but the vast majority can't see it. We have been indoctrinated by brainwashed so cleverly, patiently, precisely, the vast majority are completely unaware of the state of emergency. We lash out against one another in fear and anger. Anyone trying to make a change and speak out is violently or verbally struck down by the opposing view. It's either that or threatened, ridiculed, or simply silenced in death. How many more of us will die before we realize the truth has been disguised? How long do we allow those in control to manipulate us, humiliate us, steal from us, and kill us like pawns in their game of power? There has got to be a better way. There has got to be a radical change. Sadly, I fear the worst, as it seems most are too far gone, trapped in the matrix, as it were. The only thing I can offer is my personal action, my lyrics, my music, my choices, the companies I support or boycott with money, the effort I will put forth to be understanding, compassionate, and yes, loving, when I have the strength. My faith is that there is enough good with us all, to begin to heal and help one another, even in small, simple ways. For those of you who believe in God, I urge you to pray. For those who gather in protest and activism, do so in peace. For those of you in uniform, show honor and control. For those of you who have compassion and charity to give it in abundance. We are facing troubling times, and I feel it will only get worse before it improves. In the meantime, pause and think about before you speak, act, and ask yourself, am I part of the problem or part of the solution? You can control and change the way you think and act. Think about this, if only for a moment. I'm just a man trying to understand and do the best I can to help in any way. I will continue to strive to write lyrics and songs for all of us. I will strive to be an instrument of light and hope in this world of darkness, albeit a flawed, sarcastic head case of an instrument, but it's all I have and can offer at present. I'm heartbroken for all of us, but I won't give up on trying to make this world better, one tiny little effort after another. Be good to one another, respect and sincerity, peace, love, wisdom, strength, and light to all. Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage. Wow, that was like insanely well spoken. I feel like it's just it's a kind of an obvious stance on like everything. He was not specifically making a case, just kind of telling people, hey, chill out. Don't you see what's going on here? It is pretty sad, terrible news going on just pretty much every day for any type of people. Because you see, like, it's happening right now. I can't even talk without, like, I'm stepping on... Well, this has been the first segment of Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly. I think there will be a second one. Alright, see you then. Solar Roadways, Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly. What is that all about? Solar Roadways, I'm still not even 100% sure. Solar freaking Roadways. I'm sure everybody has seen that video, and if you haven't, well, you're in luck, because I am going to play the audio portion of that for you. coming up in a little bit here, but I just want to preface this saying, yeah, I think it's an awesome idea, solar roadways, but a lot of people are saying that it's bunk or such phrases, that it will never happen. It is basically just a giant grift job from the Brusaws or whatever, whoever is doing the solar roadways project. I would like to believe it's just a great idea. Maybe it seems lofty, the expectations at this point. But here, let's give it a listen. This is their thing. You probably heard it.
What are they? Freaking roadways. What do they want from me? Well, they're solar.
It's really well marketed.
Roadways. Okay, so actually,
I'm gonna
this
shut
time,
up.
what is it? It's technology that replaces all roadways, parking lots, sidewalks, driveways, tarmacs, bike paths, and outdoor recreation surfaces with solar panels. And not just lifeless, boring solar panels. Smart, microprocessing, interlocking, hexagonal solar units. No more useless asphalt and concrete just sitting there baking in the sun, needing to be repaved and filling with potholes that ruin your axle alignment on your sweet ride, bro. These are intelligent solar panels. Replaced a panel at a time if damaged or malfunctioning. They're covered with a new tempered glass material that has been designed and tested to meet all impact, load, and traction requirements. Oh, and did I mention that they're also solar panels? They generate electricity, they generate capital, they pay for themselves, and they keep paying more because we're not going to run out of sun for like 15 billion years. That lowers the cost of energy, unlike those bills in the mail that keep going up. And it's clean energy. Everyone can theoretically drive an electric car with no pollution and a minimal carbon footprint. Can you imagine how good our cities would smell? How much healthier we'd all be? Excuse me, young man, am I being led to believe that this thing is some sort of thing? Yes, it's a thing, a real thing. And clean energy is only its primary function. Grab a notepad, because this is where it gets interesting. For those in the north, the panels use energy they collect to power elements to keep the surface temperature a few degrees above freezing. They're heated. No more ice and snow on roads causing traffic delays, accidents, and injury. No more shoveling your driveway and sidewalk. No salt corroding your car or wasting tax money on snow removal. And you can ride your bike or drive your motorcycle all year round. Whoa! Every panel has a series of LED lights on the circuit board that can be programmed to make landscape designs, warning signs, parking lot configurations, whatever. These roads never have to have lanes repainted, just reprogrammed to whatever we choose or whatever works best. Imagine a highway road lighting up ahead of you. How much safer it would be to drive at night. There'd be improved visibility for pilots landing on solar landing strips. Imagine walking onto a solar recreation court and choosing a sports configuration. Want to play basketball? Cool. Kids want to play hopscotch and foursquare? Awesome. Ball hockey? Done. And with LED lights under your feet, it's gonna look like
someone say
freaking
ball
Troy.
hockey.
But real, because this is the real world. Whoa. But these panels are also pressure sensitive, so they can detect when large debris like branches or boulders have fallen onto the road, or if an animal is crossing. It can warn drivers with LED text to slow down for an obstruction. I'm very, environmentally conscious. Good, because solar roadways use as much recycled material in their production as possible. Plus, the roadways have two channels that form what's called a cable corridor that runs concurrently with the roadways themselves. One part houses electrical cables, meaning power lines, data lines, fiber optics, and high-speed internet, which replaces the need for telephone poles and hanging wires that can be damaged during storms, causing power outages, or become extremely dangerous if severed either as fallen live wires or buried cables. The other channel captures and filters storm water and melted snow, moving them either to a treatment facility or treating them on-site, greatly decreasing the amount of pollution that enters our soil, lakes, rivers, and oceans. I'm kinda broke, bruh. Yeah, no kidding. The economy is in the toilet. Do you realize how many thousands of jobs this could create and sustain? Talk about a hypodermic adrenaline shot to the heart of the manufacturing and infrastructure sector. And it pays for itself. They're solar freaking roadways. I have concerns about the future. Is this thing even possible? I told you, yes. Solar roadway technology was invented by engineering couple Julie and Scott Brusaw in 2006. Two of the sweetest people in the world who met when they were 3 and 4 years old. Listen to these two.
Hi, we're Scott and Julie Brusaw, inventors of solar roadways.
We met
Oh, they sound so nice.
when we were 3 and 4 years old.
These wonderful, intelligent people want to begin manufacturing a technology that can power the future of the whole freaking planet. They were awarded a contract from the Federal Highway Administration to build 2 prototypes, which are now complete. They're too humble and wonderful to yell at you over the internet, so I'm gonna do it. You need to know about this technology. You need to get behind it. You need to share it with everyone you know, because this is actually happening. Whoa!
It's pretty sweet.
For the
I
first
think
time
so.
in human history, we have the
But,
technology to do what nature has done since the beginning of life on this planet.
Yeah,
Harness the
yeah,
power of
okay.
the sun.
I'm just gonna fade this out real quick. How many? Going for like 5 minutes. Okay, we got a good 5 minutes of that video in there. I think that's all you need. There's about 2 minutes left. You want to check it out? Just type in "solar freaking roadways" and it'll pop up. It's an awesome idea. I heard about this like 2 years ago. I was on vacation, and like it just like, I don't know. I thought like, oh my God, I got to get involved with this and that. And then I just started reading up on it and really seeing all the pros and cons of it. And not that it really affected, I don't believe I'd be working on solar roadways either way. But at the time, that seemed like a pretty awesome option. And I think the premise is good enough that we'd be able to harvest energy during the daytime. And as it was explained to me, solar energy is more, it's not really so much of a harvestation. It's like you use it, you get it and you use it right away. You can't, there's not battery cells and stuff like that for how it works on the grid at least. But I'm not an expert on that, but I have a contrary belief about solar roadways. Here's this video that some British bloke put together. And
amazing how much denial floats around the Solar Roadways fan club. I mean, like real hardcore denial. Yeah, I mean, I understand it's sort of robbing them of something, you know, like telling them that Santa Claus doesn't really exist.
It's technology that replaces all roadways, parking lots, sidewalks, driveways, tarmacs, bike paths, and outdoor recreation surfaces with solar panels. And not just lifeless, boring solar panels, smart microprocessing, interlocking, hexagonal solar units.
Which all, of course, sounds fantastic. But fundamentally, it's still a fiction. Albeit one that's supported by an awful lot of artists' impressions. I mean, your bullshit radar should have been twitching from the second that they claimed that they had this working Solar Roadways prototype, but curiously never showed us how much power it generated. Like, really, if you've actually got a working prototype, well, that's great. Just show us how much power it generates per unit area. Or maybe something simple, like having it run a kettle. The issue should have been further brought home when they only showed the LEDs working at night.
Hi, we're Scott and Julie Brusaw, the co-inventors of Solar Roadways.
And from
it sounds so nice.
Not the angle you would usually look at these things in the road. I mean, at this point, it's clear that seeing as this is night, that these LEDs are not being powered by the solar panels. And from how bright they are, it's clear that there would be zero chance of seeing these during the day.
Every panel has a series of LED lights on the circuit board that can be programmed to make landscape designs, warning signs, parking lot configurations, whatever.
The roads would be marked with LED lights instead of painted markings, and parking lots would be able to reconfigure parking in an instant.
Well, maybe that's the point. Solar roadways, they're great, as long as you don't want to drive on your roads during the day. And yeah, I'm not the only one who's done some back-of-the-envelope calculations and worked out that their claims are simply batshit crazy.
You've got to be kidding me. I mean, we're only generating 380 watt hours a day. To heat these things is just ridiculous. It's almost a showstopper, right, with the LEDs.
Oh,
you're going to need at least an order of magnitude more power generator, but we're not. We're not close to that. But they claim that they can then store it in the virtual grid and then pull that energy back out at night.
It's crazy.
To drive the LEDs and all the other stuff as if it's some sort of magical storage medium in the grid. It's not. This is Solar Power 101.
Solar Power 102.
Has a master's degree in electrical engineering. This is basic stuff. The grid doesn't store energy like that. It's use it or lose it.
Solar Roadways has duped the US taxpayer out of almost $1 million and gullible saps out of another $2 million. However, while I was reading the history of all of this, I found this Wired article from 2010 where they state this. We've gotten estimates from the universities for developing the glass, and it would cost about $50 million to complete the research and get ready for production, said Brusaw.
Hi, we're Scott and Julie Brusaw, the co-inventors of Solar Roadways.
If we could get part of that, it would get us going and help us finish our research and development. Whoa, they want $50 million just to complete the development of the glass? I thought they were ready to almost start making these things and like set up factories to make them in every country in the world.
Now we need to bring in a team of the best and brightest people to help us improve it, streamline production, and move us forward.
To enable our vision, we'll need to build manufacturing facilities in every state in the U.S. and nearly every country in the world.
Now, to be honest, the number of $50 million sounds about right to work out if such a material exists. That is, if a material exists with the correct mechanical, transmission, weather resistance, and so on properties to be suitable for a road surface. Maybe some sort of exotic laminar composite of sapphire glass and maybe some organic polymer too. Although that would kind of defeat Bruce's whole argument about not using oil industry chemicals.
Asphalt has gone up so much because it's petroleum-based. I don't believe we're going to have the ability to build asphalt roads in 50 years.
Because most of the feedstocks for industrial...
Okay, I think I've had enough of this guy's voice. Seeing that kind of did change my mind a little bit about the whole aspect of this. I think the pros outweigh the cons. Let me bring up this other article I did pulled up from, let's see where it's from. It's Technology by Chi, C-H-E-Y, not Guevara. It's spelled differently anyways. It's no secret to humans, blah, blah, blah. Pro, excess energy. The solar roads are applied to all first, secondary roads. America and the world as we know it would be different. If the information in the video is correct, the United States would produce 3 times as much energy as the citizens use. Imagine that when you are having a new driveway put in, it would be solar powered and could help power your house. These roads and driveways would allow us significantly lower or eliminate our electric bills. Also, all cars would be converted to electric. This new excess of energy. Slowly, all other items not electric powered would be converted, also letting the United States be completely energy dependent. Great idea, feeling of that idea. Is it possible? Are we still going to hurt the environment with these things? Producing them, making them, maintaining them? That's a major question mark. So, pro no snow, I guess it would melt anything, so it would stay at like just above slightly freezing. But I mean, the things are tempered glass, so they've got some coarseness to them, but I can only imagine that the possibility of slipping on those things would be pretty bad. Say they go out and stay slippery, I think ice would accumulate pretty bad. But that happens on roads anyways, so who really gives a bibble about that? Pro, save money. Saving money. It would be blah, blah, blah. In the long run, you'd save money, but it'd be expensive to install. And so it would save some money on, I guess, overall maintenance, ripping up, throwing out. You'd repurpose a lot of the stuff. A con, workers. I have listed a lot of benefits to solar panels above, but similar to most new things, not everything is all sunshine. In the videos on their website, they mentioned that this project would create many jobs nationwide. This is true. It would give construction workers a lot of work by ripping out the old roads and building new ones. These new roads would also give people jobs because they need programming and also to be maintained after they're installed. While some of these jobs are long-term, most of them aren't. It will only take so long to put these roads after that. And after that, the construction workers will be out of a job since the roads will not need to be redone every few years. These people are paid to pave roads, will be out of work, and paid to pave lines or paint lines will no longer be needed. The people to plow the roads in the winter will also lose their jobs. If we switch to complete electric everything, the ones that drill oil and the ones that drive gas trucks won't have their jobs either. If all cables ran under the streets, people will lose jobs in that department also. There will be no need for workers that fix down power lines. These changes would affect a lot of people. Even those that cut trees away from power lines would be out of work. Even though many new jobs can be created from this large countrywide project, it could be more hurtful than helpful. And I don't know if I agree with that. I think how many people have dumbass jobs already? Like, they're just going to have more menial jobs. We could give everybody a job, all right? Just let people work, all right, on their solar roadways. Everybody wins, okay? Let's not get crazy here. But actually, here's a case. Route 66 in southwest Missouri. They're actually motherfucking doing this shit, bitch. Let me read the article from RFT, Riverfront Times, that is. Excuse me. Route 66 will get a dose of solar power in southwest Missouri. The first public roadway in the United States to receive the solar treatment will be a stretch of Route 66 right here in Missouri. The idea is to pave walkways and eventually roads with solar panels in hexagonal shapes. Hexagonal? It's up to you. Tomato, potato, people. Shapes capable of turning the sun's rays into clean, renewable energy. A walking path at one of the historic highways welcome centers, located in Conway, about 45 minutes east of Springfield, will be outfitted with solar panels to power the nearby center. The solar panels use technology developed by Idaho-based Solar Roadways, which raised $2.2 million in 2014 through a crowdfunding website, Indiegogo. Founders Julie and Scott Bursaw dreamt of creating the roadway that generates clean, renewable energy. Missouri's deployment of their product will be the first time someone other than the company has installed the technology. Let's see how it ends up. If in fact their product is successful, you can place it as some point in the future onto, I don't know what that's a weird sentence, but this is a quote from Tom Blair. Okay, if in fact their product is successful, and if you can place it as some point in the future onto, let's say, many of our roadways, it could be the first roadway that pays for itself. That's Tom Blair once again, the assistant district engineer for MoDOT, M-O-D-O-T, which is a Missouri Department of Transportation or something, pretty sure. Makes sense. Blair couldn't exactly say how long the solar paneled pathway will be or how much it will cost. The solar path is part of Missouri Department of Transportation. Oh, it was right there. Road to Tomorrow project, a project that the agency is using to explore ways to create revenue streams that can fund the roads of tomorrow. Roads to Tomorrow solar projects is just one section of a 5-part project. They include Internet of Things, smart pavement, truck platooning, and that's all that. But that's another show at another time. For I have gone over in segment length, and I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly, the weekly half-hour show with Ben Boquist, and I am Ben Boquist. Thanks so much for listening.
Nice day for a walk in the park. Nice day for a drive through the city. This world is a warm, sunny park. Nice day for a talk with your girl. Nice day for your shop to get busy. This world has left no